Friends, today we are going to talk about a question that will sound like madness. But just think, what would happen if suddenly from Earth, humans themselves disappeared? Yes, friends, you heard it absolutely right. Today, we are not talking about any true event. Today's topic is different. It is dangerous, and such that it will shake your mind. Just imagine, in one stroke, the entire humanity is finished. It's gone. Neither man remains, nor woman. Just slippers lying on the streets, empty cars, running fans, burning lights. But to see or hear, there is no one. Some people think, what would happen if oxygen suddenly left the Earth? Someone thinks, what if water suddenly disappeared from Earth? While someone thinks if only women remained, men disappeared, or the opposite happened, then what would happen? But today, we will talk about the biggest question. If humanity is wiped out from the entire Earth, then how will the world survive? What will happen to these buildings, to these animals, to these machines? So friends, before moving forward in the video, do subscribe to the channel, because the subscribe button is absolutely free, but for us, it becomes the biggest support. So let's start the video. Imagine an ordinary morning. Everything is just like it is every day. Someone's tea is being made. Someone's child is wearing a uniform for school. Someone is drying clothes on the roof. Someone is looking out of a double-decker bus window, peeking out. Then comes a moment that has never come in history, and perhaps will never come. All at once, in one stroke, the entire humanity disappears from the entire Earth. No scream, no explosion, no light. In just the blink of an eye, humans have been wiped from this Earth. Where just now there was laughter, now there is only the sound of wind. Where just now, a child was in a mother's lap, now only a blanket is lying there. But the heat is still there. Lentils were cooking in the kitchen. Now the pressure cooker is filled with steam. It keeps whistling. Somewhere milk is falling on the gas stove while boiling, and the gas burns until the cylinder's last drop remains. In some house, a fan is still running. But there is no one in the room. Lights are on. Alarms are ringing. They are. But there is no one to listen. Mobile phones are lying on the ground. Someone's phone is still vibrating. A call is coming. Who called exactly 10 seconds before the human disappeared? Its bell rings continuously. But in that phone, now, there will never be any voice. It won't come. No call will be received. No answer will be found. Planes flying in the sky are no longer connected to the control room. The pilot has disappeared. Within 2 hours, some planes fall straight toward the ground without fuel. Terrible explosions occur. And the planes, which are still in the air, they gradually wobble and keep falling. Debris, fire on the earth, smoke. But there is no one to cry there, no one to run. Trains, which run not by a human system, but by electronic timing. They are still running on the tracks. Some trains will continue to run without stopping. At some turns, they will get off the tracks. Some will collide with each other. But there will be some engines that will just keep running until the fuel is finished. They will. But now there are no passengers in those compartments. Only empty seats, suitcases, and half-open lunchboxes. Now, in the streets of the city, the sighs of the jungle echo. In the eyes of predators hidden inside the jungle, the fear of humans is no longer left. Gradually lions, leopards, wolves now start moving toward the city. They start. Every bungalow, every villa, every mansion is now becoming their territory. Where once a human bathed in a bath, now some lion is sitting. Where once a child used to swing, now some cheetah is flashing its teeth. Every animal has now found its own room in the city it has. Every room of every mansion has become the estate of some animal or the other. Now the lion does not sit behind bushes in the jungle. He now lies on the sofa. Now the cheetah does not sleep in a cave. Now he is resting in an AC room. Animals living with humans like dogs, cats. Now they are becoming beasts out of fear and hunger. Weaker animals are now being eaten by their fellow animals. Packs of pet dogs now roam the streets, and the one who is weakest among them is killed first. Cats are behind the window. Some are not even gathering the courage to come out of houses. The garbage that humans use to collect every day, now that will never be picked up in vehicles. There is a smell in every street. There are insects at every corner. Foam is coming out of every drain. Now garbage cleaning vehicles will never return. Food was cooking in many places. Somewhere the gas was left burning. Somewhere the cooker has now burst. Somewhere fritters being fried in oil have now become ash. Somewhere an oven is still hot. The food kept inside has now burnt. And in some places, the kitchen has caught fire, and the entire building is filled with smoke. Now there is no traffic on the streets. But the streets are not deserted. Now there are animals there. The real owners who came from the jungle. Elephants no longer stop at red lights. They pass through, breaking traffic signals with their feet. A bear has entered a restaurant and climbed on a table, and at every turn, the growl of lions is echoing. The satellites in the sky, which are still taking pictures of Earth, in their pictures, changes now start appearing gradually, it seems. Every hour, every day, trees are growing on buildings, vines are hanging from walls, windows are lying broken, and behind those broken glasses, now there is no one. Now Earth has set out on a new journey, a journey in which there is no place for humans left. Now the sound on Earth is the last breath of machines. It is the return of animals. It is the rebellion of nature and the complete destruction of human pride. Now there is no trace of humans on Earth. Those screams, that laughter, that noise of traffic, now nothing remains. Earlier, the hustle and bustle of the first few days has now turned into a deepening silence. Animals have gradually started entering human buildings, and trees and plants have started rising up, piercing the chest of the cities. 5 years have passed. Every vehicle that a human once drove is now covered with dust and rust. It is. Streets are no longer black. Grass has taken possession of them. From Mumbai to New York, a thick carpet of greenery has spread everywhere it has. Railway tracks are now hidden in bushes. The trains that once used to run with a thud now lie like cold snakes of rusted iron. They are lying, just as when humans were present. Earthquakes and tsunamis will again break out on this Earth. But this time, the one to stop it, the one to handle it, or to rebuild it, will be no one. Nature will show its havoc and gradually hide the entire human civilization in its soil, as if someone was never there. Human houses have now become animal dens. Every flat, every bungalow is a shelter for some animal. A lion sleeps in the bedroom of bungalows. Under the dining table, a wolf is tearing apart its prey. It is. The animals that once lived in the shade of trees in the jungle now have camped in large air-conditioned rooms. Lions now have their own rooms, on whose walls once human photos were hanging. Packs of dogs roam openly on the streets, and they hunt weaker animals. Many of the pets who were dependent on humans are now either dead or have become wild. Cats now hunt, and dogs form packs to swallow both cats and rats. 10 years have passed, they have. Now no system of electricity remains. The generators and powerhouses that were dependent on humans are all closed. Now in no house does a bulb light up. No mobile rings, no TV runs, no dish antenna on any roof catches anything now. Every device, every machine has now become scrap. Every city's identity, its name, its history, now is in the form of dust on the walls. On the buildings that humans took 100 to 100 years to build, vines and moss have climbed, they have. Windows are now broken, door latches are buried in dust. On whose door once the bell used to ring, now an owl is sitting and hooting. 20 years have passed. Now, even those structures have started collapsing, which were once considered miracles of engineering. Cement and steel have now completed their age. Huge buildings, which in some era were the pride of human civilization, now have started falling down. Some entire tower collapses, as if someone has taken its heart out from below. In that debris now, nothing is found. Only skeletons and the sound of collapsed dreams echo. This scene of destruction is not just on the ground, but also in the sky. Many satellites have now fallen toward the Earth. Some have burnt to ash in the atmosphere, and those that are still up there, they are just without any purpose, circling the Earth. Without an owner, without control, and on the verge of falling one day, 30 years have passed. Now every city has gradually become a jungle. In Delhi now, babool and neem trees sway. In the streets of New York, vines run, and Tokyo's metro stations have now turned into ponds. Rains have blocked all paths of water drainage. Now water remains filled in the streets. It is, and fish swim in those ponds. Where humans once used to take selfies, now crocodiles are bathing there. The environment has completely changed. The ozone layer has repaired itself. The level of carbon dioxide has fallen. The air is now so clean that taking a breath feels like a scary experience. Only the scent of trees and the sound of animals. 40 years later, now no building in the world is in its original shape. Every wall is either broken or trees have grown on it. Not humans peeking from windows, now creepers and squirrels are seen there. The lights of the cities are now completely extinguished. There is neither a street light nor a house bulb, only moonlit night, a carpet of stars, and the growl of animals. 50 years, half a century without humans. Now the Earth has completely changed. This is no longer the human's Earth. It has become the empire of nature. Every road, every building, every machine has now turned into soil. Where once noise used to rise, now silence dwells. Every mobile, every computer is now a dust-filled grave. No call comes, no message goes, only satellites breaking one by one, falling buildings and echoing sounds of the jungle. This is now the song of the earth. Now, full 60 years have passed since the human disappeared from this earth they have. Where humans once dominated the earth, now there is the law of the jungle. Large cities are now completely covered with trees and plants. They are, as if someone has spread a green sheet over these buildings. Roots of trees are now sprouting, not from the ground, but from the roofs of buildings, and piercing through stones, they are coming down to the earth. The walls that were once called designs, vines are now wrapped around them, as if nature is taking account from every brick. In the cities that once were awakened by the light of electricity, now darkness is spread, thick, quiet, and scary. Mobile towers are silent, no vehicles on the roads, only the rustling of leaves and the roar of animals are heard. In the 70th year, the last traces of humans on Earth have now started to fade. There was a time when someone said, "This is my house." Now there's some lion has camped with his family. Any street where children played cricket, now crocodiles are found sunbathing there. Some apartment's 12th floor is now some leopard's resting place. Wild animals have now come out of jungles and have taken over every city, every street, every field occupied. By 80 years, old buildings are now completely broken. Many of the iron rods lying on the ground have completely corroded. Many bridges, on which millions of people walked, have now cracked and merged into the river. The paths that were once seen on GPS, now grass and mud have grown there. Under the concrete roads, roots of trees have spread, and through those same roots, rainwater has now made canals. Train station, airport, bus depot are now just demolished ruins, and most dangerous are all those nuclear reactors, which ran under human supervision, now have become completely uncontrolled. Radiation has leaked in many plants, and the surrounding soil has become poisonous. In some areas, such trees have started growing whose color is not normal, purple, jet black, and sometimes glowing green. This earth is now gradually moving in a different direction, toward a new ecosystem. After 90 years, everything that used to be called human civilization has ended on Earth. It did. No government, no constitution, no building, no book, no religion, no memory, only jungle, winds, water, and silence. Large dams are broken. The sea has broken its boundary. Some cities are completely submerged, like Mumbai, Vancouver, Tokyo. The air is now so clean that the full moon, and even the Milky Way, is visible from above. There is no hole in ozone nor a line of carbon. Glaciers have started coming back, and now in cold places, ice has frozen. Permanent, quiet, deep ice. Now when someone sees an old mobile buried in the ground in the middle of a jungle, then he cannot even think that once, with this small thing, humans used to run the whole world. On the walls of old schools, jungle flowers are now blooming, and the clock of some time now has just become a stopped needle. 100 years have been completed, and now Earth is not like it was during humans' time. It has become much more powerful, more quiet, and more mysterious. Neither is there any aircraft in the sky now, nor any satellite. What was left, that too has circled in its last orbit and fallen toward the Earth. Now the Earth's sky is completely empty. Only stars, clouds, and sometimes lines of meteorites. Earth is now completely reset, once again as if preparation for a new beginning of life is happening. But this time human is nowhere. If there really are aliens anywhere in our universe, and one day they land on this Earth to do research, then perhaps they will see some things here. Perhaps broken mobiles, rusted computers, or half-corroded building structures. Perhaps they will understand that once someone lived on this Earth. There was some civilization named human, but by that time, human and every sign made by human, everything would have been buried under the soil. But when they dig, then they will find such evidence, which will scream, and say that yes, there was life here once, and they were humans. Thank you, friends. You saw this video until the end. For this, heartfelt thanks. So friends, if you got to know something new and learn something in this video, then in the video, do give a lovely comment, and also tell us which topic you want to see the next video on. So we'll meet in another fun and mind-blowing video like this. Until then, bye and thank you.